So in this video, you're going to see an interview that I did with Jeremy, who's a YouTuber Paystreak Superfreak. We're going to cover a lot of things, a lot of subject content about his channel, the origins of it, where he sees his channel going, and we talk about merchandise and about technology as well. Special thanks to Paystreak Superfreak for taking the time out of his day to let me interview him, and I hope you guys enjoy this interview.
Well, thanks, Jeremy, for joining me today. I appreciate your time. On behalf of everyone who watches all of your videos on YouTube, thanks for what you do and allowing us to follow you and your journeys through metal detecting. I think it's probably fair to say that I'm not sure if there's anybody out there, Jeremy, that quite does what you do with the frequency of what you do and with the passion of what you do. So, I've been watching your channel for a few months now, and I've seen your subscribers build and build and build, and it's no surprise to me that you're becoming a great success in the field of metal detecting. I've got some set questions here. Feel free to kind of riff off them. If you want to explore some kind of areas of metal detecting, they're all basically all about metal detecting. But why don't we start off with your actual channel, and are you thus far into it, are you starting to see a curve up with how many subscribers you're getting? Are you starting to see a lot of pickup, or have things been very consistent for you, or what's it been like for the last year for you with YouTube?
Well, I've been pretty much making videos for about 6 or 7 years, and I started with my phone about 2 years ago, and it was a struggle at first, having a phone in your hand and trying to do some live digs. A lot of guys were telling me, man, you should do some live digs, and I just didn't have the proper photo equipment, the proper cameras and stuff to do it with. And I got a GoPro Hero 5, and kind of worked out for a little while there, but I didn't really post any of those videos. And I started getting a few more subscribers, like about 10 subscribers. I did make a few videos a few years ago when I first got into YouTube about prospecting, and made a lot of videos, a lot of prospecting videos, and I just didn't post them because they were really crappy quality. But once I got my GoPro camera, it really picked up from there. I struggled with the camera a little bit at first, trying to get the right angles, and I dig in where it's really rainy for most of the year. It's really crappy, drizzly weather, and right off the bat, right when I got my GoPro camera, I just noticed my subscribers just took off. I was getting probably about 15 per month for the first couple months, and a lot of the videos I was doing was with the simplex, and the simplex was first starting to come out, and I really attribute a lot of my success on YouTube to the simplex, because it's such an amazing deep seeking machine. And once I started really publishing every day, I started publishing like 3 videos a day about a year ago, and that's when I really noticed I was getting a lot of subscribers, 100 per month, and then I started publishing 8 videos per day, and that was working really good. I was getting a lot of new subscribers and a lot of views. In the last year, I've averaged 4,000 hours of viewing per month. So, it's been doing really good. This last month has been really slow. My subscriber count has gone down, but it is summertime. Everybody's out doing stuff. And, I've been averaging 1,400 views per day, so I've been doing good. And that's because I post a lot of videos per day. I'm out there every day metal detecting. When I get home, I manage my videos, sort them out, delete the ones that didn't turn out. And there is a lot of videos that don't turn out, right? I end up deleting probably 90% of my videos that I make, just because camera issues, or my battery dies, or I just don't get much in the videos. But this last month has been fairly slow because it's just everybody's wanting to get out, and do stuff.
Yeah, that's great. So how did you become Paystreak Superfreak? how did that name come about? Is that some does that mean something to you? Did you just grab some words out the air? You know, how did you come about, you know, having that as a name for YouTube?
Well, I've always been kind of a freak. You know, a lot of people have called me freaks in the past at my jobs. You know, you're a freak. You know, and it's kind of stuck with me. But one day when I was mining up at the river that I have up there, I have a small little spot that I've spent several months at. I was mining and it was like 100 degrees out, and I may have gotten heat stroke, but I was just laying down. You know, I was really exhausted, and it was 100 degrees out. I was sitting in the shade. I said, you know, I need to make a name for myself, right? And I just Paystreak Superfreak. You know, I was on the river. You know, I was into one of my best paystreaks that I've ever gotten onto, and people called me freak. So I just put the two together, and I said Paystreak Superfreak. And I actually didn't use that name for several months. You know, probably 8 months before I really put that to my
yeah.
my name in my channel.
Naming a YouTube channel is like naming a baby. There's more than often one name that you toy around with what you're going to name your channel. Did you have a secondary name? If so, what was that? No.
Another one that I've been thinking about lately, plug mugger. You know, like a mugger, plug mugger.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about that, but.
Great.
I think Paystreak Superfreak is catching on.
Yeah, so you have a very distinctive logo on your channel. What is that logo? What does it represent? What does it stand for?
That is a little dish that I use to clean out my gold in, and that little bit of it's actually an orange pan. It just really helps me spot the gold.
Yeah.
I don't know, it's just a cheap little bowl, but I just was tinkering around with different plastic bowls and stuff, and I just realized that one, the gold really stands out on that. I just took a picture of it one day and just put it on my channel, and it just stuck.
Yeah,
I haven't really changed my channel too much. I've kept it pretty much the same.
Yeah, it's interesting that your name and your logo kind of go back to your earliest days, you know, with gold prospecting, and obviously I think a lot of people are meeting you now, and you're kind of going through that simplex deus kind of technology riff right now. So it's interesting that, you know, all this arcs back to gold and how you kind of started out. Why don't we talk a little bit about how you started in metal detecting? You know, how did you even get into metal detecting?
Well, I've always hung around the nerds, you know, the geeks, you know, as to say, and I was always tinkering with electronics and stuff. You know, that's my trade. I'm actually an electrical engineer. And back in the days, you know, when we had the analog machines, I loved just playing around with, you know, some older guys had some machines there, and I would play around with them. They were really big for me, you know, when I was younger, when I was 10 years old. And when I was about 19 years old, I got let's see what machine. I think it was oh gosh, I can't remember the name of the machine. It was a White's machine. I think it was like a Coin Master 5900 or something like that. And I swung that around for a while, and it broke. You know, it broke actually several times. I had to replace a couple of the triggers on it and the knobs. And I got a DFX, an XLT. I had a Technetics T2 Classic. I really liked that machine. That was the first hot rod machine that I actually owned. I really liked the tones of it, but it just didn't last. You know, I'm really hard on my equipment. You know, I like swinging fast. I like just getting it done. And the knob on the back side of the T2 Classic actually just worked its way loose and just broke on me. And then I got the Amphibio. I had the MXT All Pro, the V3i. Had a V3. I've had the MXT series, the Tracker E series, the XLT, the DFX, and just throughout the years, you know, I've been just progressing into the more basic machines. Really, you know, the Amphibia was a pretty big purchase for me. I bought all the coils, and the first week I was using that Amphibio, I went to a dump that I really liked digging in, that I spent a lot of time with my V3i, I'm MXT All Pro, and I was just finding Indian heads and V nickels just everywhere where I just beat to death. I think I spent 4 weeks on that certain just area, small area in that city dump, and I was really plucking a lot of coins out that my other machines missed. And then the Simplex came along, and I was still using my Amphibio along with my Simplex, but I just basically used the Simplex straight for a year, every day, for a lot of hours a day.
Yeah, yeah, and I think it's probably fair to say that the vast majority of your YouTube catalog is without a doubt Simplex videos. Mm-hmm. With regards to the pandemic, in the last 15, 16 months or so, has that been a good time for you with metal detecting, or has it not been a good time for you?
It's actually been a good time because less people are out, and but it does make it a lot tougher to approach people like in their houses, like knocking on doors. It's really tough to get permissions. People just don't want to answer their doors because they're afraid of COVID, and I understand that. But I've been doing a lot of parks and schools lately, and just recently we've been asked to leave parks and schools in my area. Just I don't know for what reason. They say we're damaging the property, but as you can see in my videos, I'm not really damaging the property. The soil is really fertile here, especially in the wintertime. It's really soft. There's a lot of clay, hot soil, and it's hard to damage the soil in the wintertime, because it just rains pretty much every day. But in the summertime, in the last couple of weeks, I've been just about calling it quits on the curb strips and the parks, unless they're watered a lot. And a lot of the curb strips are not watered here. They just don't water the lawn. I mean, it all dies in the summer anyway. And that I still use my big shovel, just because, I'm not damaging the lawn. If I am damaging grass, I'll stop and I'll come back later on and see if I can get there in better conditions. Yeah.
Why don't we talk about the tools that you use? You've made a ton of videos using Predator tools products, and you've done some videos where you've highlighted them, especially the Phoenix, which is your go-to. What do you enjoy so much about that product that you constantly are taking it out and it's your kind of go-to when it comes to metal detecting?
Well, throughout the years, I've broken a lot of shovels. I've had so many shovels that last me just one day. Get it out there in the harsh conditions. I dig in a lot of tall grass or in a place that has a lot of iron. Go down there, dig my target out, and snap. It breaks off at the handle, or it breaks off at the tip, or it just bends on me. I went through a lot of shovels, and when I bought my first Predator Phoenix tool about 3 years ago, the first plug I made with that thing, it was absolutely amazing. I said, wow, I'm going to be able to dig a lot more targets with this, because the shape of the shovel, it has a parabolic shape, so it just digs a perfect round plug, a perfect cone. And if you have a straight spade on your shovel, you're digging straight down in the ground, so you have to rip that plug out of the ground, and you're destroying the integrity of the soil there, right? And also you're prying on the edge of that hole, so you're compacting the soil. And whenever you put that plug back in, if you have a straight spaded shovel, you put that plug back in, there's a big gap around where you pried on that hole around that plug to pop it out. But with the Phoenix, I like the Phoenix so much because you have a lot of control over that shovel. I've used shovels in the past that have a ball on them. I've used shovels that have a T-handle and the D-handled shovels. But the reason why I like the parabolic shape on that is you don't have to bend down it so much. It's really hard to explain if you don't have the shovel in your hands. But when you dig that hole, you dig that plug, and you don't have to bend down as far because it has that parabolic shape, that curve to it. And it pops out really easy. And I do have other shovels. I have the Predator Spartan, and I have the Predator the Predator Hornet. I had the Ranger. I sold that Ranger a few months back just because I don't need that many shovels. And but the Phoenix is just an all-around super great tool. I have over 1 million plugs with the Phoenix that I have now, and I actually bought a backup Phoenix shovel when I ordered my last batch of Predator tools.
Yeah, I saw you also, you gave them out to one of your friends, Jewelry Jim, who's a regular on your channel. So I've seen him lately, carrying it around and using it. And, I have one myself. It's a great product, and I'm enjoying using it, and I'm enjoying, getting to more grippers with it. I only just literally got it in the last couple of weeks. Continuing on the subject of, tools, you've recently ventured into, making some products yourself. You've moved into making and designing sheaths. How's that all going? I'm sure everyone who's, familiar with your channel has been watching you construct them, test them, dye them, and ultimately put them out into, for consumption for people to purchase. So how's all of that going so far?
It's going good. I wish I could get some product overseas, like to the UK. It's really tough to ship overseas because it's so expensive. I hope that a distributor, somehow picks my sheaths up, and all the guys in the UK can get my sheaths, because a lot of guys have been wanting them from the UK. I have a lot of subscribers and a lot of viewers from the UK, and I'm hitting that roadblock right now of getting that stuff shipped out, because it's just so expensive.
Yeah, so I'd imagine like when you was conceiving the idea of making these sheaves, it was probably a fun idea, and then the actual work that went into it was probably more than what you had anticipated. Is that accurate?
I pretty much had it all planned out. I knew how I was gonna, I knew how I was gonna produce them, manufacture them, but I didn't know that it was going to be so hard to distribute them.
Right.
I'm just hoping that's a larger metal detecting shop orders a big batch of them and catches on to it, so the guys back east on the eastern coast can get them for cheaper.
Yeah. So you're creating sheaves, you're manufacturing them, you're selling them. What about other products? Do you have any other products that you have in mind that you would like to distribute and make?
I've been thinking about doing belts. I do have a bag designed already, but I'm just trying to work out really how I want to really put it together. There's a lot of work that goes into designing and manufacturing bags. You got to know where to put the stitches. You got to know when to flip it inside out and put some rivets in, and knowing how much is it going to cost me. I really have to buy a large quantity of leather because I want to make them out of leather, and I need to buy a large quantity of leather and make a few of them and see how much it costs me to make them, and then go from there, with the price. Yeah. And it's just a lot of designs, that I went through to get this design down to where it's going to be profitable for me. I don't want to sit there for 2 hours and make a pouch and not make any money off of it, while I could be detecting.
Yeah. So sorry, go ahead.
And I do have I want to start making belts too, because belts, those little plastic buckles that they give you on belts, they just always break. I've broken a lot of them in my days, and that's just another weak point. And I've been thinking about making a pinpoint holster, but there's so many different sizes of pinpointers now. It would be really hard to make a universal size that fits all.
Yeah, absolutely. I assume the belt would be leather.
Yes.
Yeah. Very good.